Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, it is Melissa L. Watkins, evidential medium and master instructor, teacher with integrated energy therapy. And I am coming to you to really delve into this Aquarius energy that Pluto is entering and how that's going to affect all of us. I don't feel like this is going to be like a one video thing, right? We're just beginning. And from what I understand, this is a 20-year cycle. And I'm not an astrologer. So if you don't have an astrologer, I would say if that's something you are gravitating to, then definitely look at who you resonate with. I myself am an intuitive reader. So I use tarot, I use oracle cards, but it's the intuition, right? And so what spirit really, the messages that spirit wants to bring in, the divine feminine, the angelic realm, and that's where I seem to get my messages from. So that is where we're going to kind of delve into. So if you are new to me, please like and subscribe. I'm so happy you're here. And for those of you who have just found me, welcome. And for those of you who've been on this wild ride with me for a while, thank you. So that is what we're going to be doing in this video. So let's get started. That is my peppermint tea. And I'm going to actually start with the Angel Tarot. I'm going to start with the Angel Tarot. Actually, I'm going to use the Angel Tarot for the main message, but I think what I'm going to start with actually is a Star Codes Astro Oracle by Heather Roan Robbins. So let's start there. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, guys. I really don't. I've been, to be honest with you, I actually put together the, I don't want to say a meme, but the, like introduction, the introductory poster for this video. So Spirit also brought me those two words because I was putting together the poster, right? So that when I go to put this video up, I can put the poster on to highlight it, advertise it, however you want to look at it. So I'm putting it together and I'm like, what is this going to really be about, right? So the two words that they actually gave me is determination and expansion. And then it was like, well, what is this energy going to feel like, right? And so when I was looking for kind of something else to kind of add for, eye-popping quality, right, to get interest, right, for those of you that want to know, what is this transit? What is this going to bring me, right? So expansion, determination were the two words that I got. And then and I'm actually going to, I'll show it to you because I'll be using it, but there it is. It's fresh, right? Fresh was the sticker that came up when I kind of was searching, and I can't even remember what I searched, but I was like, fresh, I guess that's the one we're going to use. So let's dive in and see what some of the overarching messages are for this. I don't know. I don't even know if I should call it a transit, right? But it's a change, a sign change, right? Coming out of Capricorn, coming out of Pisces. No, coming out of Capricorn, going into Aquarius. And I think we were in Pisces, right? And then we're going back into Capricorn for a minute, and then we're going back into Aquarius for the 20 years. So I almost feel like we just need to hold on. We just need to hold on. So yeah, let's see what Spirit wants to bring in these cards. The first... You can't make this stuff up. I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Rebirth, Pluto. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. That is beautiful. I'm emotional right now, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio and is a powerful planetoid that takes 248 years to traverse the zodiac. Pluto and Chiron, the largest of its 5 moons, each circle each other and create a binary system. Most myths connected to Pluto, god of the underworld, have two major characteristics. The one who descends into the underworld is to return reborn, and the one who either sends souls down to the underworld or greets them on arrival. Osiris and in and Prospina to Seth and oh gosh. All right, we got some mythology going on. So let's start this over. From Pluto and Prosperina to Seth and Osiris and Inanna and Escrigal, both sides of these myths, the use and abuse of power and the willingness to be reborn again into their empowered divine self, describes Pluto's influence. Pluto is also lord of mining, retrieving valuables from deep within the earth, right? Wow. Okay. So Pluto calls for 3 actions. First, to dig deep. Second, to be willing to transform. And third, to use power wisely. Pluto calls you to drill down, dig up what is worthy, and bring it to the surface. Then rinse away the dirt and uncover the gold. Bring up riches whenever you dig deep into your soul's work. Notice obsessions and neuroses. These signs of stress must be listened to and healed, but don't allow them to control you. Pluto reminds you that you can't hold on to the past, but you can take care of yourself. To begin this work, you may have to let go of an old form, as a caterpillar must become a butterfly. Mourn what you've left behind and then get curious about what is about to arrive. So examine the power dynamics of this situation. Neither give yours away nor misuse your power over others. Step out of a power struggle and into self-empowerment. So I feel like that's what's going to happen in these energies as we shift into Aquarius. We are coming into self-empowerment, and I think it's beautiful. But for many, that's going to be very uncomfortable, especially if you're someone who's been the empath, people pleaser, the person who was maybe traumatized very young, and stepping into your power is very uncomfortable, right? But I feel like you're going to be compelled to do that. Whatever your old story was, this is the change. This is the switch. This is the empowerment that is going to propel you into this next cycle in your life. So the challenge with this is Pluto's shadow can bring up obsession, depression, mortality, and grief. Pluto plays hardball, so get a guide for this realm if needed. But the gift. Pluto asks you in the face of life and death, why are you here? This isn't a rhetorical question. Strip down to the essentials and come back to what really matters to find the answer. So for many of you, you're being brought into your purpose. This Pluto sign switch, right, is going to, I don't want to say transit because I don't know if it is a transit. Like, I'm not an astrologer, so please definitely grab one. There's so many, beautiful people out there. But yeah, you're being reborn. And so it's going to be really important for you to kind of dig deep into, what is being brought up from the depths of my soul, right? That I have to look at. It's here and it's really calling me to look at it, whether it's an addiction, whether it's a relationship pattern, whether it's an inner child wound, whatever it is. This is the big stuff, right? And for many of you who've been on healing journeys for a really long time, I feel like you're getting to the core, that core reason why, right? So in integrated energy therapy, I tell you, it's never a one and done session, right? Because we have to go through the layers. We have to peel back the layers of whatever the trauma is that you're dealing with, right? Whatever the emotional, mental, physical, energetic blockages, right? But it can't be just ripped out and replaced. We have to do it layer by layer by layer. And this is what I feel like this Pluto energy, for those of you who've been maybe doing any kind of healing, right? Whether it's, working with a doctor, working with a holistic healer, working with an energy healer, or all combined, right? Whatever you've been doing, or maybe you've been doing self-healing, right? Maybe you've just been journaling and meditating and, being on your own path with your own practices, right? Whatever this looks like for you. This, though, this is bringing you now into kind of the depths, the core of either what happened or why. Um, but the thing that it's time to root out, it's time to say, I'm done with this. I'm done with this hurt. I'm done with this addiction. I'm done with this abuse. I'm done with this relationship. I'm done with, and this is why, right? Because I'm really ready to be my authentic expression. And that's what I feel like this is truly bringing each and every one of us in some way. Well, okay, we're only 10 minutes in, and wow. All right. Let's see if there's another card that wants to come out of this deck. And if there isn't, that's okay too. Because I really feel like, we totally hit on the one we needed right out of the gate, didn't we? Wow. Okay, one more. Debilitated discomfort. Here's the next one. Look at that, debilitated discomfort. Let's dig into this and see what Spirit is bringing us with this. If you've put a well-organized city dweller deep in the wild woods, they'd be accidentally debilitated, out of their element and pushed to live up to their potential. They may be uncomfortable, but the situation offers a chance to stretch further and develop their soul. The same goes for a planet in a sign or placement that's awkward with its nature. For example, Mercury is the least mercurial when it's in Pisces, opposite the sign Virgo, which it rules. Here, Mercury can bestow a great mind, but in an intuitive, integrated, imaginative way, not a mind to escape in purely intellectual pursuits. This time, you are the invaluable sidekick. This is not your game, but you have a lot to contribute nonetheless. And the long-term benefits will be worth your efforts. Learn and listen rather than assert yourself and your opinions. Use your strength and leadership skills to support and center another person or project. Pass the ball to someone who is in a position to run with it. Back up a leader. Do the work behind the scenes. And bolster the team. If you're not ready to do this work, you can pass that ball and leave the field. But consider redefining your idea of success. Stay here and you can grow needed skills, expand your repertoire and contacts, and build up trust among others who can help you in the future. Everything you learn, all the contacts you make, prepare you for when it is your turn. Whether you're an artist among the engineers or a linebacker among the ballerinas, you may struggle to apply your talents in this situation. In these moments, it's easy to slip into self-pity and self-doubt. You are being challenged to grow in ways you can't predict. You are being asked to diversify, stretch, and strengthen your weak muscles. Only you can decide if it's time to take that challenge, but this experience also encourages you to love yourself in the quiet moments and to appreciate what you bring to the table, even when nobody else notices. So this is the transformation that you're coming into, that Pluto is bringing you to, that it is time for you to bolster yourself, time to come into connection and really recognize, where are you debilitated, right? What is it that you need to embrace within yourself that may feel very uncomfortable, maybe even be part of yourself you've always kind of just left behind, right? For whatever reason, right? Not feeling like you're good enough, or not feeling like you have the strength or the talent, or just not feeling like you have enough confidence, enough strength. In this energy, with Pluto coming into Aquarius, you're being given that strength. You're being given that motivation. I feel like you're coming out of being debilitated, and you're coming into your strength. You're coming into your purpose, your authenticity. For some of you, you're going to be taking that leadership role. For some of you, you're going to be revealing your gifts and talents that you've always kept hidden or protected. This is you stepping into the light, out of the shadow, in a way that you've never stepped into the light before. Whew. Yeah, for some of you, this is about writing the book, painting the picture, starting your own business, speaking your truth, showing up for yourself. So for all of you people pleasers, this is where you let go of that role. You really start to require the people and situations around you to also step up and give you what you need. Balance, coming into harmony is what it feels like. I kept saying transits, right? I don't know if I'm using it right, but there it is. Transits. Look at that. Wow. Whew. This has already been such an emotional, impactful video. Wow. Climate. The planets are always moving through time and space, always spinning around us. When those planets form geometric relationships to one another, they create transits, the astrological weather conditions of the day that affect us all. When a moving planet forms a geometric relationship to a planet in your natal chart, that transiting planet can act like a guest who enters your house, sits in your kitchen, or sprawls in your living room. It activates that part of your existence. If that transiting planet talks to Mars, it activates your warrior nature and fight or flight response. If it talks to your moon, it initiates a story centered around home, your family, and how you nurture yourself. So, the action for this card is the situation is in flux and the surrounding conditions are changing. Yeah, they sure are. Stay alert, aware, and be ready to respond to incoming dangers and opportunities. Some people are moving in, others are leaving. New opportunities open and old chapters close. Listen to the grapevine for changes in personnel or economic conditions. You are not in control of these elements, but you can make the most of these changes and dance with fate. People that walk into your life now may be karmically important. Either the relationship will last a long time or it may be short, pithy, and teach you a valuable lesson. It can be helpful at this point to look at the transits in your natal chart. There's no volume control on this card's energy. Transits may trigger a small change in the personnel around you, or it could signal a shooting star that blazes across your life and turns your direction entirely. You have choices, though. Ask for grace and guidance when responding to the changing circumstances. The challenge with this card is wild cards are in play. You are not in control of who or what now brushes your life, and that can be scary. But the gift of this card, even though life is an ever-moving circus and you do not control the people and events transiting your life, know that you are in complete control of your response to the transit. So choose wisely. Whew. Wow. 3 very, very, very important cards. Look at that. Pluto, debilitated, and transits. Look at that. So yes, things are shifting, guys. Things are shifting in your life. Things are not going to stay the same. But this is bringing you into your power. This is empowering you. This is bringing you into your authenticity. This is bringing you into the strength and balance to now make choices and decisions that in the past either you didn't feel you had the strength to make, or you didn't feel you had the right to make, or you didn't feel good enough to make. This is going to bump you out of comfortability. This is going to take you into some deep soul searching, some deep lessons. For some of you, you've been diving deep. You've been going there. For some of you, it's like you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna finish what I started, right? For some of you, you're just starting this, and it is going to feel really uncomfortable. Because for some of you that are just starting shadow work, that are just being brought shadow work, for some of you, you've been complacent. You've been allowing things to be a certain way, even though it didn't make you happy, it kept you safe and stable. And I feel like because we're here to have joy, we're here to be authentic expressions of who we came here to be, that complacency is what this is going to bump you out of, right? I don't know if this was the right deck. Sometimes when the deck doesn't speak, I'm like, okay, let's get a deck that maybe does want to speak. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, for a deck that I didn't think wanted to speak, it's speaking really well. And it's saying some really good things. Yeah, some really good things. Yeah, you're coming into commitment. You're coming into commitment with self. You're coming into commitment with purpose. You're coming into commitment with passion. Again, for some of you, this feels very much like starting your own thing, creating your own thing. But for some of you, this is also coming into commitment in relationship, that it's time to build a commitment. And for some of you, you're making that commitment to yourself, right? To start a relationship or to invest in a relationship. But the King of Cups is definitely coming in very strong to allow you the strength and the fortitude to go for your whatever it is that you're wanting to make a commitment towards, right? Again, commitment to self, goals, projects, your own happiness. And for some of you, it's coming into commitment with a relationship, right? And this is bringing you into a new road, a new beginning. So for some of you, this is very much tied to, getting married or taking the next step in a relationship. And for some of you, this is showing you that making that commitment to yourself for your happiness, making the changes that are necessary is going to bring you victory, right? It's going to work out well. It's taking you in this new road, this whole new path of vision and inspiration. Because you are coming into a time of a happy home, right? So again, whether that's an internal home where you're doing the shadow work, you're allowing, you're allowing the shadow work to be done, to not let the shadow rule anymore. Not let the shadow be the driving force anymore, not the pain, the anger, the addiction, the abuse, the whatever, right? That's not what's driving your train anymore. And that's what this feels like. It feels like that you're really working through that aspect of yourself that was your silent companion. And for some of you, you're like, well, that's where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in the addiction. I'm comfortable in the partnership. I'm comfortable in the abuse. I'm comfortable in the people pleasing. I'm comfortable in the grief. I'm comfortable in the anger. I'm comfortable in the abandonment. I'm comfortable, right, in all that. But this energy is going, nope, nope. Now it's time to get comfortable with making a commitment to yourself that says, I'm important. My happiness is important. What I want is important. That's where the victory is. That's where the happy home is. That's where the ending of, I just heard infertility. So again, general message, but take what resonates. And for someone out there, your infertility is ending, right? You're coming into this happy home. And for others of you, this happy home that you're coming into, the culmination of all your hard work is realizing your goals, healing that core wound, that shadow aspect, that generational work you've been doing, right? It's been a lot. It's been tough. It's been hard. It's been scary. It's taken you to your knees more than once. But in this energy, look at that. In this energy, it's not the ruler anymore. It's not the ruler anymore. Because it's time. It's time for partnership. So for those of you who have been single for a really long time, I feel like you are going to be meeting someone, whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame. But this is, I feel like, partnership. And you got progress, 2 and 2, right? Victory. I mean, if this is a love reading, this is a beautiful love reading, right? Happy home, victory, commitment, progress, partnership. So this Pluto coming into Aquarius, for many of you who've been isolated, who've been single, who've been alone, who've been on a very solitary journey, I feel like you are going to be coming into partnership. I feel like whether it's a soulmate that's a friend, or a soulmate that's a romantic partner, or a twin flame, meeting up with a twin flame for some of you. Again, very specific message for a few of you, right? Twin flame journeys are unique, beautiful, but not all of us are going to meet our twin flame in this physical incarnation, right? So for those of you that do, be ready. Be ready. Be ready to do the work, right? And for those of you meeting your soulmate, it's because it's time for you to progress into partnership, to progress into relationship. Again, relationship with self and the internal is going to then bring you into partnership in the external, right? When you shift your internal, your external shifts. So for those of you who've been doing the shadow work, for those of you who've been healing the karmic wounds, for those of you who've been healing generational karmic wounds, right? You now come into the blessings, the victory, the receiving. And so it's going to be really important to lean into it. Lean into, because every new journey, right, it's taking you out of your comfortability. It's taking you out of what you knew. So yeah, these cards are beautiful, but for some of you, it's also going to be a lot of trepidation and fear because you're being asked to be happy in a way that you've never been happy before. You're asked to be in relationship in a way that you've never been in relationship before. You're asked to reveal yourself in a way that you've never revealed yourself before, right? Opening up your heart and opening up your solar plexus to standing in the embodiment of your power in a way that you've never done before. So this can feel very uncomfortable, but it's all bringing you a new beginning that is taking you into victory. So I love that we've got swords and cups and wands, because look at that. We have purpose, we have emotions, and we have thoughts, right? So this Ace of Swords, I'm loving it because how you think about things is changing, right? That old programming or that old negative self-talk is being transformed, and that's beautiful. So that's why you're now coming into victory, because remember, thoughts create emotions, which creates manifestation, right? So for many of you, this is going to be very uncharted territory. So that's why it's so important for you to understand that this rebirth, right, can feel really big. Because when you're being reborn into something completely new, you have to shed everything that was comfortable, everything that you knew, because it doesn't serve you anymore. It wasn't positive enough for you. It wasn't bringing you joy. It was keeping you in lower vibrational frequencies, that was keeping you from not being able to manifest what you wanted. You weren't in a resonance. So now that you're coming into resonance, the manifestations are able to drop into your experience. So for those of you who are like, well, I haven't met anybody, where am I going to meet this person? You don't have to worry about where you're going to meet them or when you're going to meet them or how you're going to meet them, right? You keep doing your work, and then they're brought into your experience. And then it's important that you choose, you accept. And for some of you, it might even feel like a little bit of a leap of faith. Like, I've never done this before. Right? It's victory. It's victory. I was actually going to see who wanted to come in, but I'm being called to the Amanda Ellis Christ Consciousness deck. So I'm going to actually delve into this deck. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video than I normally do, which is okay. So if you are watching this straight through, thank you. But I do believe there will be timestamps for those of you who kind of want to look at different aspects of the video, right? So I feel like we're getting, I'm being drawn to the Christ Consciousness deck because I feel like there's a lot of Christ Consciousness light codes coming in these new energies, in this new Aquarian energy that Pluto will be in. So I feel like the Christ consciousness is going to be more prevalent or more pronounced. I think that's what I'm feeling. Yeah. So Joseph, fathering and responsibility. Yeah. I feel like the divine masculine is changing. The divine masculine is coming into a more nurturing energy. Not so much the authoritarian, not so much the provider, the protector, the warrior, right? I feel like the divine masculine is coming into more of this parenting, nurturing, support overall. It doesn't mean that men aren't going to, go out and still, provide for their family. But I feel like that need to be the warrior, right? The hunter gatherer. I feel like that energy is diminishing in this new age. And I feel like we're going to be seeing the role of the divine masculine shift into a more support, encouraging, nurturing, father type energy, right? Where men can still be men, but they can also reveal their emotions. They can share their emotions. They can share their fears and not be seen as less than, right? That they don't have to be this all powerful, macho, masculine wall, right, around their emotions. So I love that. That's beautiful. So I feel like that is also why, for those of you who will be coming into partnership, in romantic partnerships, it's because men are getting more in touch with their emotions, right? So for some of you, these men wouldn't have been ready to be in relationship with you a couple of years ago, right? But now, because they're more in touch with their emotional body, connected to their emotional body, nurturing and supportive, they're going to, it fosters better partnerships. It fosters better relationships. Oh, we got 2 here. So we're going to start with the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Calling on the Holy Spirit, working with the Holy Spirit. And you can call the Holy Spirit, or God consciousness, or your higher self, right? But this energy of the crystalline white light, purity, softness, being able to embody who you truly came here to be. And I feel like that's what I'm picking up with this card, that it's time. It's time to be who you came here to be, and work with your higher self, or work with the crystalline white light to help you be able to embody your truth, the pure essence of who you came here to be. Embodying your truth, revealing your magnificence, that inner drive, that inner desire. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, and the card that came out was Paul, Awakening and Transformation. Yeah, that's totally what we're going through and going to be going through. For some of us, again, we've been going through it. For some of you, you're just starting it. For some of you, you will start it. But this is what this Pluto and Aquarius is bringing each and every one of us. Awakening and transformation. In connection with your higher self, in connection with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. The crystalline white light, the Christ consciousness energy flooding into the planet to help us grow and evolve and transform into our authenticity, to be happy, to have victory, to have partnership, to have commitment. Yeah. Getting into connection with God, God consciousness, the Christ light, the divine masculine, being more nurturing and supportive. And for some of you, getting into balance with the divine masculine within you, whether you're female or male. So for some of you, you're really going to be coming into connection with your divine masculine in a way that maybe you've never been in connection with it before. Or you always used your divine masculine to be the warrior, to be the fighter, right? Even if you were just fighting for your principles or fighting for your goals, right? Maybe now it's about leaning into being more nurturing, more supportive with yourself, and achieving your goals that way. Coming into partnership that way, right? Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Christ consciousness. All right, let's see who wants to come in to support us in these transformations, right? Because for some of you, this is, again, going to be very uncomfortable. I mean, it sounds good to come into victory, right? It sounds good to come into partnership, but something has to change for you to get into the frequency that the victory happens, right? And so that's where the work comes in. So who is going to come in to help you do the work? And that card totally wanted to come out. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I got two. Yep. Green Tara. Look at that. Green Tara. Healing light. Wellness unfolding. Knowing the healing is a journey. Know that healing is a journey. Oof. Yeah, because I think for all of us on some aspect of where we are on our journey, right? There's always healing to be done. I don't feel like we're ever going to get to a point where we think, done. I'm healed. No. We're always in transformation. We're always in healing. We're always in growing and evolving and learning, right? To keep moving up the frequency, right? That's what we came here to do, right? Isn't that what we came here to do? In what they call the Earth School, right? And it's good. I know sometimes it's daunting, and I know sometimes it's a lot, and I know sometimes you're just tired, right? But in these energies, you're being given the gifts to help you do that, whether it's coming into connection with crystalline white light, whether it's coming in with Christ consciousness, whether it's coming into connection with your higher self, or whether it's coming into connection with the healing that you're doing or the transformation that has happened or is happening or will happen, and the inspiration that's coming in that's allowing you to know what you've achieved or where you're going to be achieving, or what support is coming in, right? So for some of you, the support that's going to come in is going to be the right boss, the right job, the right fit, right? So wherever you have felt like I've tried that and it never worked, or I've really wanted that and every time I've gone towards it, it didn't work out. It wasn't the right frequency. You weren't the right frequency, or they weren't the right frequency. And I feel like that's what's happening with this Pluto and Aquarius. We're all now coming into the right frequency for ourselves to be able to activate what it is that we've been wanting in our own experience. So Green Tara is coming in to help us with that. The story goes that Tara, whose name means star, is an aspect of Avalokiteshvara, the deity of compassion, who, looking at the earth, cried tears over all those experiencing challenges and pain. And that's exactly what we've all been going through, each and every one of us in some way. His tears of compassion became a great river from which rose a lotus, and from that lotus, Tara was born. She has many forms in different colors, and green Tara brings the light of protection and safety with her. Green Tara is one of the most loved and respected female deities in many Buddhist traditions and is well regarded by many spiritual practitioners across the world. Born of pure compassion, she is there to assist all those moving from suffering to wholeness. Your message. The blessings of Tara are surrounding you now, and you are being guided to know that healing isn't linear, but more like a spiral. When you set the intention to heal, the intention itself initiates a pathway that is similar to a spiral. At times, you will feel like you are overflowing with vitality, and at others, you will feel drained. There may even be moments when you feel you are revisiting something you thought you had overcome, but this revisiting is actually an opportunity to see how far you have come on the road to recovery and wholeness. Right now, the spiritual energies that surround you are creating space, pathways, and doorways for you to move closer to the truth that you are whole, healed, and complete. Don't let fears or limitations get between you and the miracles that you have experienced and the miracles that are yet to happen. This is a journey of fearlessness and liberation, and you are closer to freedom than ever. Take the next step. Whew. Wow. Wow. And the card that came out with this was the Lemurians, clairvoyance activated, psychic awareness, sensitivity, trust your intuition. Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly what's going on here. Green Tara in the transformation, in the healing that you're going through, in that connection to your higher self, in that connection to Christ consciousness, into the crystalline white light, is activating your ascension into your intuition, psychic senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience. So for some of you, this clairvoyant activation will feel uncomfortable. It will feel magical. So just know that receiving information in a new way is absolutely going to be part of your journey as you continue to heal, grow, ascend, transform, raise your frequency. It's all coming together for you. And for some of you, it's going to happen pretty early on in this change. For some of you, you're just starting this journey. And for others of you, you're on the way, right? So wherever you are on the journey, right? That's what I've been called to help with. So I'm excited that you're here with me. I'm excited for the next 20 years. I'm excited for what we're going to co-create individually and together as we move into our most magnificent expression of the human form having the spiritual journey here on planet Earth. I'm excited. I am truly excited. I knew I needed to sit down to do this reading because I knew these energies are big. And I know there's a lot of other people doing similar readings. Please take what resonates, leave the rest. But I'm excited because this is transformative for each and every one of us on this journey of ascension, especially those of you who are finding me because you're already empaths, you're already feeling energy, right? You're already knowing that there's more than just this human existence. And so wherever you are on that journey, just know that if you're in this space, you're in the right space. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm being called to leave it right there. So we've got this. We've got this. And I know for many of you, it can be scary and terrifying to walk away from what you know is comfortable. For those of you who are coming out of addiction, for those of you who are coming out of abusive relationships, for those of you who are finding and standing in your power for the first time. It feels like you're on shaky legs. I just don't want you to feel like you're alone, ever. In this transformation, as uncomfortable as it is, it's going to be beautiful. You are the caterpillar coming out of your chrysalis in this next 20 years. Thank you for being here. And as always, I'm sending you so much light and so many blessings, so much love. And if you want more information on how to work with me, head over to my website, guidance311.com. Thank you, guys. Namaste.